Alright, so I'm back with this video here to teach you guys how to do combos for your fight animations. So if you're looking to create a fight animation, I really hope this video could help you a lot. I want this video to be as quick as possible. Alright, so I have this animation here that I'm creating to be posted on my channel soon, but I'm just gonna go through this combat here and to tell you like the things that I did and like what I was thinking while creating this combat, right? So in this scene, right here, right? This is going to be like a sword fight. It goes the same way when you're creating like hand combat as well, but this is just a sword fight that I'm creating, right? So I have the character come in here with a little effect. So as you can see, this is just like I make it like a little silhouette thing. So I just copied and paste the original character here. Just copied and pasted, and I used the blur effect here. As you can see right here, I used the blur effect and I just turned it all the way up. But I did that, and I also double framed. As you can see, if you see I'm clicking on one frame, then I'm clicking on the next frame, it's the same frame, like it's just duplicates of the same frame. And I added a little shake effect here. As you see, when the person comes into the frame, it shakes as like a little effect. But enough of the effects and all that, right? I'm creating this animation on 19 FPS. So this is a part that I want you all to like understand here. So if I play the animation now, just to show you how it looks. So you can see that as a person jumps, it you can barely see the stretch, but you could tell that he was going to like jump in the air. So I add this little stretch thing in between these two frames here to make it look like it just complements the animation in a sense. I really don't know how to explain things that well, but I really hope you understand what I'm saying. It's good to add these little stretch things to just give your animation a certain look, even though it's not really gonna really show when you play the animation. As you can see, you can barely even see it, but it's good to have it just to have it there. But I have him in the air just a little bit here. As you can see, I'm double framing so that it takes some time for him to come down. Then he comes down a little bit and then he strikes. You realize that most times that I'm doing the attack, they're like very like big in spacing, right? So he starts from here and then he just goes straight into the attack right here, while I have this little sword effect going on right there. So just right into the attack, and then as he does the attack, I double frame here, as you can see. All right, so I double frame that, and then he comes down, and then he has a little ease in going on at the end part here. These are the way of how I create my combos, right? I start off slow, gradually build up speed, then right as the attack connects, if it's a block, parry, whatever, it's like a fast swing or a fast punch, because you want to make sure that the impact is showing to the viewer that okay, the sword parries very quickly, the sword comes down very quickly, and then now it just eases out. I mean, it just eases out after. You can see just moving a little bit slow here, and then on the second attack, boom, as on the second attack, as you can see right here, slashes again. After he comes down, he slashes again. So those are the ways that I create certain combos. You have to make them flow into one another to make it look good in a sense. I'm trying to explain it as simple as I can. I don't want to just put a lot of like professional or like big words for you guys, because I know that some people won't really understand what I'm saying, especially if you're like a new animator. But I really suggest that you watch the 12 principles of animation first before you get into like these advanced like combats. Try to get a feel of like easing and squash and stretch and certain types of animation first that are like basic, and then you go into like movements like walking and running and all those good stuff. But you also have to have good posing. You always have to make sure that the poses that you're creating for your animation fit like realistic poses. They don't have to be as realistic as it can. Animation is exaggeration. Try to exaggerate your pose, but try to have a decent dynamic posing to when the viewer is watching it, they realize that okay, that's a kick, that's a punch, that's a having dynamic poses in your animation will literally make your animations way better than you think that they already are. When I was creating animations, that was a problem I had, is not having dynamic poses. So I still see some flaws here. I still see some flaws here where like certain poses I could have done way better, right? Because maybe like the foot, like this foot could be probably more inwards like this, right? To give it a little sort of look to it. But it's all trial and error, and you have to just keep animating and keep creating animations to be better in animations. Keep practicing, keep doing what you feel like you love doing, right? Have your imagination set in your mind of how you want your animation to look. And as I always say that in most combo videos on my channel, on my tutorials, I'll say that to have like references, movie references, or even like animation references to help you give a guide on how you want your animations to look, how you want your stick fights to look. So watching those stuff could really give you a good understanding of movements, of how attacks look in terms of stick figure animations. So these little things, like little attacks that I have here, these are just straight out of the head. I didn't really look at any references, which is not really good to do. It's always good to look at a reference and to try to put the reference into your own style and then implement it into your animation. But I didn't do it here. I just thought that okay, this guy is gonna jump here. He's gonna, let me show you. All right, so he's just gonna jump here. He's gonna slash, bam, and he's gonna go to the ground. Then he's just gonna slash again. The red guy is gonna block it. Then the red guy is gonna slash. Then this guy's gonna block it. So as you can see, that most of the attacks that I do is just, they're very big. See, they're very like huge. They're not like slow. There's very big spacing. But then after that, I just double frame the attack. As you can see that there's two frames, two of the same frames here. And then I just slowly come out of that attack, and then he attacks again. The sword goes up in the air. So it's always good when you're creating different fight scenes for your fight animations to have like certain uniqueness to it, certain things that just happen even though they didn't have to happen, but just implement these things. Because while I was creating this like stick fight pose thing, I was like creating the fight, like the fight attacks, I was thinking that okay, he's on the next swing, he's gonna be like very like sharp or very like a hard swing, to the point where he's like his sword just comes out of his hand and starts like flying in the air. But then now after that, this guy is not just gonna let him just like swing at him again, right? He's gonna swing at him, as you can see here. But then the black stick figure just kicks him, right? Kicks him in the stomach. Then right as the sword is like falling, because gravity, then he swings again and it parries. So yeah, so these are the things that I just like think about when animating. Don't just go into an animation without an idea. right? Think about how you wanted your animation to look, and even if you feel like you're not sure how it's going to end, ensure that you have a start and ensure that you know that, okay, this is how I want the animation to look. And over time, you can, while you're animating, you'll see how you want your animation to end. I wouldn't suggest you to do that, but that's what I do, and it works out for me. If you feel like you want to have a storyboard or a draft of how your animation will start and then how your animation will end, then it will be best to do so. But for me, I just animate, and while I'm animating, I am creating the storyboard in my brain of how the different types of moves the characters are going to do, what's going to happen during the animation, and then how the animation is going to end. I just implement that while I'm animating. So if you can do that, you do that. But as you can see, he kicks him here, then the sword drops in his hand, and then he slashes him. Well, slashes the other guy, and the other guy slashes again. Then he creates like a little parry effect thing going on here. Nice. So as you can see, just like that, just like that. Okay, so it's good to have the stretch mode on every limb. That's what I personally use. If you do not want to do that, then that's just what you want to do. But I personally turn on the stretch for like every single limb except for the head, because I feel like I have more like freedom on my moves when I'm doing so. Okay, so all right, the pose looks like trash, but whatever. All right, let's go. All right, so I'm just gonna create like a little quick punch. I'm not sure, this animation probably won't look as good as I think I would want it to be, but as I said, this is just a practice thing. You could animate the attacker first, and then you animate like the person defending after, but you can sometimes do both if you want to. That's just my style. That's just how I animate. Sometimes I animate the attacker first, while sometimes I animate the attacker and the defender at the same time. So, so as you can see that I don't have a anticipation. So I'm gonna add that right now. So as you can see, when in this pose here, he just goes straight into the, like he's going straight into the punch. I don't want that. I want a little anticipation to show that he is about to punch. So let me just add that real quick. Alright, so this is how it looks. And then if I add a if you add a little shake effect to it, like where should I put it? Like on the attacks here. So if I just put like a little shake, camera shake thing going on, and then put it at this one as well. See, now it looks good, right? And then with this combo now, I could just use this other hand here and then just let him punch him like this, then let this guy block. And there's so many ways you could just continue the combo to create the fight scene. There's so many ways you could do it. So either way, I hope this video helps you create your fight animations, or gives you an idea on how to create fight animations.